Most seniors believe walking more is the key to staying healthy after 70. But what if I told you leading doctors are now warning against it? While walking keeps you mobile, relying on it alone could actually accelerate aging rather than slowing it down. The truth is, as we age, our bodies need more than just steps to maintain strength, balance, and protect our joints. Focusing exclusively on walking while ignoring 5 essential forms of movement can lead to muscle deterioration, increased fall risk, and joint damage, the very things you're trying to prevent. In this video, I'll share the 5 critical areas you should prioritize instead of just walking. These simple adjustments can not only add years to your life, but dramatically improve your independence. Stay with me until the end. The final recommendation is something rarely discussed, but absolutely vital for your longevity. If you're watching, please like, subscribe, and comment with your city below. Now, let's start with the most urgent priority that's silently affecting your strength every day. 1. Strength training, the missing piece. Walking can't provide. Walking is wonderful for your heart and mind, but here's what most seniors don't realize. It does almost nothing to prevent muscle loss. After 70, your body naturally loses 3 to 5% of muscle mass each decade, a condition doctors call sarcopenia. This isn't just about looking strong, it's about staying independent. You see, muscle loss is the silent thief of independence for people in their 70s and beyond. When I talk to seniors who can no longer live on their own, it's rarely their heart or lungs that failed them first. It's their muscles. The ability to stand up from a chair, carry groceries, or climb stairs determines whether you can remain in your own home far more than your walking ability does. Think about your daily life. Have you noticed grocery bags feeling heavier than before? Do you need to push with your hands to stand up from soft chairs? Is opening jars becoming a 2-person job? These aren't just minor inconveniences. They're warning signs that your muscles are weakening even if you walk every day. Take Richard from Boston, who just turned 75. He walked 2 miles daily for years, believing he was doing everything right. But gradually, he noticed he couldn't lift his suitcase into the overhead bin when visiting his grandchildren. Getting up from his favorite chair became a struggle. One morning, he couldn't open his medication bottle without help. Despite all that walking, his muscles were disappearing. Richard's doctor explained something crucial. Walking primarily exercises your heart and lungs, but does little to maintain the strength in your arms, shoulders, chest, and core. These muscles need resistance, something to push or pull against, to stay strong. The good news? You don't need a gym membership or complicated equipment to reverse muscle loss. Simple strength training using resistance bands, those colorful rubber strips, bodyweight exercises like wall push-ups, or even lifting household items like soup cans or water bottles can make a remarkable difference in just weeks. What's fascinating is how strength training benefits extend far beyond just making daily tasks easier. Recent studies show that maintaining muscle mass is directly linked to longer lifespan, better brain function, and even improved immune response. Your muscles actually produce compounds that protect your brain and fight inflammation throughout your body. There's another benefit rarely discussed. Muscle mass significantly improves how well your medications work. Your body processes prescriptions more effectively with adequate muscle, meaning you might need lower doses with fewer side effects if you maintain your strength. Want to check where you stand right now? Try this simple test. Sit in a chair and without using your hands, stand up completely. Then sit back down and repeat. If you can do this 5 to 10 times without struggling, that's excellent. If it's difficult or impossible, your leg strength needs immediate attention. I'd love to know, which everyday task has become more challenging for you lately? Is it carrying groceries, getting up from chairs, or something else? Share in the comments below, and let's talk about how we can address these specific challenges. Now, let's move on to something equally important that walking alone can't provide, something that could literally save your life in an instant. 2. Balance training. What walking can't teach your body. You might think that because you can walk a mile without falling, your balance is just fine. But here's something that might surprise you. Walking on flat, predictable surfaces actually does very little to maintain the complex balance systems your body relies on. It's like having a smoke detector that's never tested. You won't know it's failing until there's an emergency. Falls aren't just accidents. They're the #1 cause of injury among adults over 70, sending more seniors to hospitals than any other single event. What's truly heartbreaking is that many people never fully recover their independence after a serious fall. The CDC reports that 1 in 4 Americans 65+ falls each year, but fewer than half tell their doctor. Why? Because admitting balance problems feels like admitting you're getting old. The truth is, balance decline sneaks up on you. Your brain and body have amazing compensation systems that hide small balance issues until suddenly, one day, you reach for something on a shelf and feel that terrifying moment of instability. By then, you've already lost significant balance capability. Margaret from Minneapolis learned this at 73. She'd walked 2 miles daily for years and considered herself very fit. One winter morning, stepping off a curb, her foot slipped slightly. She didn't fall, caught herself just in time, but that moment of terror stayed with her. "I realized I was one bad step away from a broken hip," she told me. Her doctor explained that her balance systems had weakened despite all that walking. What happened to Margaret? Walking primarily challenges forward movement in predictable environments. It doesn't train the vestibular system in your inner ear, the proprioceptors in your joints, or the quick response muscles that prevent falls when something unexpected happens. These systems need specific challenges to stay sharp. The great news is that balance can improve at any age with the right exercises, and they're surprisingly simple. Standing on one foot while brushing your teeth, walking heel to toe as if on a tightrope, or gently shifting your weight from side to side while standing. These movements create mild instability that teaches your body to respond more quickly when genuinely unstable situations occur. What many don't realize is that balance training does more than prevent falls. It actually improves brain function. Your cerebellum, which coordinates movement, shares neural connections with parts of your brain responsible for memory and cognition. Research shows that improving balance can enhance overall brain performance, a remarkable 2-for-1 benefit. Want to check your current balance? Try this. Stand near a counter for safety. Lift 1 foot an inch off the ground and see if you can hold steady for 10 seconds without touching anything for support. If this is difficult, your balance needs immediate attention. I'm curious, when was the last time you felt unsteady or had to grab something to prevent a fall? Was it reaching for something, getting out of the shower, or another situation? Share in the comments. Your experience might help someone else recognize their own balance issues before a fall happens. Now, let's move to our third priority that walking simply can't provide, something that determines how comfortably you'll move through each day. 3. Flexibility and mobility. Keeping your body young. When you think about staying active, walking might be the first thing that comes to mind. However, there's a crucial element that walking alone neglects: maintaining your flexibility and range of motion. As we age, our joints naturally tighten and our muscles become less pliable, which can lead to limited movement and discomfort. This is why simply walking isn't enough to keep you feeling young and agile. Imagine trying to turn your head while driving, only to realize that it feels stiff and uncomfortable, or reaching for a box on a high shelf and finding it more challenging than it used to be. These small moments may seem trivial, but they are significant indicators that your flexibility is declining, and that decline can significantly impact your independence, making everyday tasks feel like burdens rather than simple routines. Take the story of Thomas, an active 78-year-old who walked every day. He believed he was doing everything right until he noticed that getting out of bed felt like a struggle. Bending down to tie his shoes became a chore, and turning his head to check for traffic was no longer effortless. Despite his dedication to walking, he found himself increasingly stiff and uncomfortable. Thomas learned the hard way that walking alone does not prevent joint stiffness or enhance flexibility. So, why does this matter? When your body lacks flexibility, you risk developing stiffness that can lead to pain and limit your ability to perform daily activities. The good news is that you can improve your flexibility with simple, effective exercises that require no special equipment. Dynamic stretching and gentle mobility movements can be easily incorporated into your daily routine. Consider starting with neck rotations. Slowly turn your head from side to side, feeling the gentle stretch in your neck muscles. Shoulder circles are another fantastic way to increase mobility. Just roll your shoulders forward and backward to release tension. Gentle yoga movements, like cat-cow stretches or seated forward bends, can also work wonders for your body, helping keep your joints lubricated and pain-free. Research has shown that improving flexibility can reduce pain and even enhance circulation, allowing blood to flow more freely throughout your body. This increase in circulation not only alleviates stiffness, but also helps improve your energy levels and overall well-being. Let's check in on your current flexibility. Try this simple self-assessment. Sit comfortably and turn your head as far as you can to one side, then the other. How does it feel? Do you notice any tightness or restrictions? If so, it's a sign that your flexibility needs attention. I want to hear from you. Which movements have become more challenging for you lately? Is it bending down, reaching up, or even twisting to grab something off the shelf? Sharing your experiences can help us all better understand how to tackle these changes together. Now that we've explored the importance of flexibility, let's move on to a vital aspect that supports your overall stability and comfort as you age, something that walking alone can't truly provide. 4. Core and posture. The invisible foundation walking can't build. You might be surprised to learn that walking, for all its benefits, does almost nothing to strengthen your core muscles or improve your posture. Yet these deep stabilizing muscles are like the foundation of your house. When they weaken, everything else starts to shift and crack. After 70, poor posture isn't just about appearance. It fundamentally changes how your body functions. Look at any group of seniors and you'll notice something. Many are gradually leaning forward with rounded shoulders and a curved upper back. This isn't inevitable with age. It's the result of weakened core muscles failing to hold your spine in proper alignment. Walking simply doesn't activate these critical stabilizing muscles the way targeted exercises do. The consequences go far beyond just looking older. Poor posture creates a cascade of problems: chronic back pain, restricted breathing, digestive issues, and increased risk of falls. Many seniors find themselves unable to stand comfortably for even short periods at family gatherings or while waiting in line. The discomfort can be so persistent that it limits social activities and enjoyment of life. Barbara from Phoenix experienced this at 76. She had walked religiously for decades, 3 miles every morning, yet found herself battling constant upper back pain and restricted breathing. Looking at photos from her granddaughter's graduation, she hardly recognized herself. "When did I start looking so hunched over?" she wondered. Her doctor explained that despite all her walking, her core muscles had weakened significantly, allowing her spine to gradually collapse forward. The turning point came when Barbara's doctor showed her simple core activation exercises she could do anywhere. Instead of adding more walking, she learned to stand against a wall with her shoulders and head touching the surface, gently press her lower back toward the wall, and hold the position while breathing normally. She practiced seated pelvic tilts while watching television and gentle abdominal bracing while standing in line at the grocery store. Within just 6 weeks, Barbara noticed remarkable changes. Her back pain diminished, her breathing felt easier, and friends commented that she looked taller and more confident. "I feel like I've reclaimed inches of height I thought were gone forever," she told me. What's particularly fascinating about core strength is how it affects your entire body. Your core muscles don't just support your spine, they create the stable platform that allows your lungs to fully expand, your digestive system to function efficiently, and even your heart to pump with less strain. Research shows that improved posture can increase lung capacity by as much as 30% in some seniors, which means more oxygen reaching every cell in your body. Want to check your current posture? Try this simple test. Stand with your back against a wall, with your heels, buttocks, shoulders, and head all touching the surface. Is this position comfortable, or does it feel unnatural? If maintaining contact between all these points and the wall is difficult, your posture has likely shifted away from optimal alignment. I'm curious, what changes have you noticed in your posture over the years? Do you find yourself slouching more, or has someone commented that you're not standing as tall as you used to? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your insights might help others recognize similar changes in themselves. Now, let's move on to our 5th priority, something crucial that walking alone can actually make worse instead of better. 5. Joint protection. Why walking might be hurting, not helping. Here's something that might surprise you, and it's perhaps the most important insight of all. Walking, especially on hard surfaces like sidewalks and shopping malls, can actually accelerate joint wear and tear after 70. This isn't just my opinion, it's something rheumatologists and orthopedic specialists are increasingly concerned about. As we age, the cushioning cartilage in our knees, hips, and ankles naturally thins. Our bodies produce less synovial fluid, the natural lubricant that keeps joints moving smoothly. And the shock-absorbing structures that once protected our joints become less resilient. When these changes occur, the repetitive impact of thousands of steps on hard surfaces can gradually damage the very joints you're trying to keep healthy. The consequences of joint damage go far beyond occasional discomfort. For many seniors, joint pain becomes the primary reason they stop being active altogether. Once that happens, a difficult cycle begins. Less movement leads to more stiffness, which leads to even less movement. Independence slips away, not because of a sudden event, but because walking became too painful to continue. William from Chicago learned this lesson at 77. A former postal worker, he prided himself on walking 2 miles every morning, rain or shine. But gradually, his knees began hurting not just during his walks, but for hours afterward. "I thought I just needed to push through it," he told me. "My father always said, no pain, no gain." But William's doctor explained that the persistent pain wasn't building strength. It was a warning sign that his joints were being damaged with each step. The solution wasn't to stop moving, it was to change how he moved. William's doctor recommended low-impact alternatives that would strengthen the muscles around his joints without the constant pounding. He began swimming 3 times weekly at the local YMCA, using a stationary recumbent bike on other days, and practicing gentle chair-based movements that maintained mobility without stress. Within a month, William's knee pain had decreased dramatically. "I'm moving more than ever," he reported, "but without the constant aching that used to keep me up at night." What's more, the varied movements improved his overall mobility in ways that walking alone never did. The science behind this is fascinating. Different types of movement create varying pressure patterns that help distribute synovial fluid throughout the joint space, like working oil into a squeaky hinge. This improved lubrication reduces friction and provides essential nutrients to cartilage. Water exercises are particularly effective because they allow full range of motion with minimal joint stress. The buoyancy of water removes about 90% of your body weight from your joints while still providing resistance for muscle strengthening. Here's a simple way to assess your current joint health. Pay attention to how your body feels 1 hour after walking. Do your knees, hips, or feet feel comfortable, or do you experience aching, stiffness, or discomfort? Post-activity pain that lasts more than an hour is your body's way of saying, this movement is causing stress, not health. One benefit rarely discussed is how improved joint health can reduce medication dependence. Many seniors find that with proper joint care, their need for pain relievers decreases significantly. William was able to stop taking daily anti-inflammatory medications entirely after 3 months of joint-friendly exercise. Before making any changes to your routine, though, please consult with your healthcare provider. Your specific joint conditions, overall health, and medication regimen all factor into creating the safest approach for you. I'd love to hear from you. Do you experience any discomfort in your knees, hips, or feet after walking? How long does it typically last? Your experiences might help others recognize similar patterns in themselves. Please share in the comments below. Now that we've covered all 5 critical areas that walking alone can't address, let's pull everything together and talk about how to implement these changes in your life. We've covered the 5 essential movements your body needs after 70 that walking alone can't provide. Strength training to preserve muscle, balance exercises to prevent falls, flexibility work to maintain mobility, core exercises for better posture, and joint-friendly alternatives to protect your knees and hips. Remember, aging doesn't mean decline. In fact, many seniors see remarkable improvements when they focus on these 5 areas. Your body can still respond, adapt, and grow stronger at any age. I encourage you to identify which area needs your attention most urgently and begin there. Which of these 5 priorities resonated most with you today? Will you start with strength, balance, flexibility, posture, or joint protection? I'd love to know your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If you found this helpful, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Next week, I'll share the simple morning routine that incorporates all 5 areas in just 15 minutes. Until then, remember, it's never too late to move better, feel better, and live better.